Billie Eilish, 5-time Grammy winner, Oscar winner, one of the most decorated artists of her generation, fell to her knees at Coachella, not performing, not on her own stage, on someone else's, in the crowd as a fan. And the moment she dropped to her knees, something happened that the internet has been talking about ever since. Because this was not just a fan having a moment. This was not just a cute celebrity crossover clip for the algorithm. This was 7 years in the making, and the backstory is the part that will make you feel something you were not expecting to feel today. Shh, turn the volume up, but keep it low. This is Rap Deepest Secrets, the one place the labels can't control, exposing the codes, the cover-ups, the real cost of fame. Now, back to the video. April 18th, 2026, Coachella, Weekend 2. Justin Bieber is headlining, the final act of the entire festival, closing out one of the most iconic lineups in recent Coachella history. The crowd is massive, the energy is massive, and somewhere in the front row, enjoying the show like a completely normal human being, is Billie Eilish. Not backstage, not in a VIP tent, front row, in the crowd, just watching. Then it happens. Bieber launches into One Less Lonely Girl, and before he even gets to the chorus, he does something that sends the entire audience into a controlled meltdown. He pulls Billie Eilish up onto the stage. From the clip that immediately starts circulating, you can see the exact moment Eilish realizes what is happening. She covers her mouth, her eyes go wide. She looks like someone who has just been told the most wonderful and most terrifying news of their life simultaneously. She gets on stage, Bieber sings the chorus directly to her, and Eilish, 24 years old, one of the most famous people alive, covers her face with both hands like a teenager at a concert who cannot believe this is real. And then, as the song ends, she drops to her knees, completely overcome. Here is what you need to know to understand why that moment hit the way it did. Before Billie Eilish was Billie Eilish, before the Grammys, before the Oscars, before the sold-out world tours, she was a believer, a genuine, obsessive, full-commitment believer. Justin Bieber was not just music to her. He was the reason she wanted to make music. His artistry, his voice, his career. She grew up watching all of it and wanting, desperately, to do something like that with her own life. And in 2019, when Eilish was 17 years old and just starting to break through, she attended Coachella for the first time, and she met Justin Bieber. Think about what that moment must have felt like. You are 17, you are on the edge of something enormous happening in your own career, but you are not quite there yet, and you are standing in front of the person whose music shaped who you are as an artist. That was their first meeting, 2019, Coachella. 7 years later, she is back at Coachella, and so is he, and the story comes full circle in a way that almost feels too scripted to be real, except it is completely real, and nobody planned the timeline. After that first meeting, something unexpected happened. They stayed close, not in a surface-level industry networking kind of way, genuinely close, and Bieber almost immediately took on a role that nobody asked him to take on, and he did not have to take on. He became protective of her. In February 2020, when Eilish was exploding globally, winning everything, becoming the youngest artist to win all 4 major Grammy categories in the same night, Bieber sat down in an interview and said something that most people filed away as a nice celebrity quote and then forgot about. He said, "I just want to protect her. I don't want her to lose it. I don't want her to go through anything I went through. I don't wish that upon anybody. If she ever needs me, I'm just a call away." Listen to that again, slowly. He said he did not want her to go through what he went through. Justin Bieber, who became famous at 13, who grew up in public in the most unforgiving way possible, who spent years being dissected and mocked and overexposed until he visibly broke under the weight of it, looked at Billie Eilish at 18 at the peak of her first wave of fame and recognized something. He saw what was coming because he had already lived it, and instead of letting her figure it out alone, he showed up. Eilish, for her part, has never been subtle about what that friendship meant to her. In an interview on SiriusXM, she described it simply and directly. "He's a good friend of mine. He has been so helpful for me in terms of just dealing with fame, and he'll call me sometimes and just says stuff that makes me just feel heard, and like there's somebody else that goes through the same stuff, so it's really nice to have him." Dealing with fame, not navigating the industry, not building a brand, not managing press cycles. Dealing with fame, which is a very different and much heavier thing than most people realize until they're inside it. Fame at the level that both of them operate is genuinely isolating. It's disorienting. It's a specific kind of pressure that most people around you can't understand because they've never experienced it and can't even approximate it. It changes how you see yourself. It changes how you see other people. It changes what is real and what is performance until sometimes you can't tell the difference anymore. Bieber lived through the worst version of that story publicly. The breakdown, the behavior, the years of being the punchline. He came out the other side, and then he turned around and held out a hand to the next person walking into the same fire. That's the friendship. That's what was underneath that moment on stage at Coachella. Okay, stop for a second. If you came here for the Coachella clip and you are now genuinely thinking about what fame costs people and what it means to have someone reach back and help you through it, that's exactly what this channel does. We take the stories that look like entertainment gossip and we show you the human architecture underneath, the real stakes, the real history, the things the headlines skim past because they're looking for the clip, not the context. Subscribe right now. Hit the button, turn on notifications. We post regularly, and every single video is built the same way, starting with something you think you already know and ending somewhere you did not expect to go. Come be part of this. Subscribe now. Okay, back to the stage. Here's the detail that most of the coverage mentioned once and then moved past. This was Coachella, not just any show, not a random venue on a random night. Coachella, the same festival where they met for the first time in 2019, the same grounds, the same desert air, the same iconic stages. 7 years ago, Billie Eilish arrived at Coachella as a 17-year-old fan who had just started to break through, and she met the artist who made her want to do this in the first place. 7 years later, she arrives at Coachella as one of the most celebrated artists alive, and that same artist pulls her on stage in front of tens of thousands of people and sings One Less Lonely Girl to her while she covers her face and falls to her knees. That's not a coincidence the universe should be allowed to get away with. That's almost too clean, too circular, too perfectly written for a real-life moment. But it happened. April 18th, 2026, front row to center stage, fan to friend, 7 years, same place, completely different chapter. And Billie Eilish, who has performed for hundreds of thousands of people, who has stood on stages all over the world, who has done the thing that young Billie could only dream about, fell to her knees in the way that only happens when something reaches all the way back through time and touches the version of you that started everything. There is a version of this story that is just a cute celebrity moment. Famous people are friends, famous friend surprises famous friend at festival, everyone cries, algorithm eats well, next story. But there is another version. This is a story about what it means to be seen by someone who actually understands your experience, not your awards, not your streaming numbers, not your public image, your experience, the specific, private, unglamorous weight of being the thing that everyone is watching. Bieber has been one of the most famous people on Earth since he was a child. He paid for that in ways that were very visible and probably in ways that were not visible at all. And when he looked at Eilish, young, talented, ascending, about to be engulfed by the same machine, he did not stay quiet. He reached out. He called. He said, "I see what is happening to you, and I have been here, and you are not alone." That is rare, not just in the music industry, in life. People who have made it through something difficult do not always turn around. Sometimes they distance themselves from it. Sometimes they do not want to be reminded. Sometimes they are so focused on their own survival that there is nothing left to give someone else. Bieber turned around, and 7 years later at Coachella, in front of everyone, he pulled her on stage during One Less Lonely Girl and sang it to her. The song has a new meaning now. It always will. Billie Eilish and Justin Bieber are two of the most written about artists of the last decade. Their names have appeared in thousands of articles, millions of social posts, endless commentary. People think they know them. But the thing that actually defines their relationship, the quiet, consistent, years-long act of one person holding space for another person, navigating something almost impossible, that part barely makes the headlines. The knee drop at Coachella made the headlines. The friendship made the moment. And that is usually how it goes. The visible thing is the result. The invisible thing is the foundation. The front row to the stage moment is what people screenshot. The phone calls that happened at 2 a.m. when fame felt like too much, those are what actually built the bridge. There are people in your life right now who are doing the invisible version of what Bieber did for Eilish, showing up quietly, saying the right thing at the right time, reminding you that someone else has been through what you are going through and you are not alone in it. Those people are worth more than almost anything else. Billie Eilish went to Coachella in 2019 as a 17-year-old fan and met her idol. She went to Coachella in 2026 as one of the most celebrated artists of her generation, and that same idol pulled her on stage, sang to her, hugged her, kissed the back of her head, and watched her fall to her knees in a moment of pure, unguarded joy. 7 years, same desert, same festival, completely different story. She covered her face, she dropped to her knees, she ran back into the crowd. And somewhere underneath all of it, underneath the clips and the headlines and the screaming crowd, was a friendship built on something real, built on the phone calls and the check-ins, and the quiet, unglamorous act of one person saying to another, "I see you, I've been there, you are not alone." That is the story of Coachella 2026. Not just a cute moment, a full circle, a debt paid forward, a reminder that the most important things that happen between people almost never make it into the headlines, until one night in a desert in California, they do. If this video made you think about more than just the concert clip, share it with someone who needs to see it. And if you're not subscribed yet, this is what this channel does every time. We find the real story underneath the story, the history under the headline, the human moment inside the viral clip. Subscribe, turn on notifications, come back for the next one, because there's always more to the story than what gets shared.